Guys, this is the timer for the next big volatile move in the Bitcoin chart. We see the next FOMC meeting with a high probability of not a rate cut, but a high probability of Jerome Powell stepping on stage and talking about the further in the next FOMC meeting, which is at the moment not really guaranteed to pump the Bitcoin price, but this could change with a few words and a few sentences said by Jerome Powell. The Bitcoin price is consolidating still in his all-time high area. About $110,000 is the all-time high that we have seen. Now the lowest price that was possible to buy was $89,600, which we exactly catched in our $50,000 in a profit long position. We have really exactly nailed this little bottom to buy at 90,000, or it was like 89,000, like almost the bottom. Now is the question, what will happen after today's meeting? And I'm gonna talk about exactly this topic. Furthermore, we have crazy news, and this landscape will probably turn more orange in the next coming months. A crazy news is that in the state of Arizona, the Bitcoin strategic reserve got approved, and this is huge news. No one is talking about it, but the first single state of the United States got like the approval of buying Bitcoin, and not like 1%, 2%. They are about to buy 10% of their reserve fund in Bitcoin. This is huge news. We have like 12 states on the waiting list already, which proposed a bill for a strategic reserve. They are gonna vote about it. They're gonna talk about it. But Cynthia Lummis, the woman who was waving the papers of the Bitcoin strategic reserve after the Trump speech on the Bitcoin 2024 event, she is now talking about why the US should buy Bitcoin and hold it like digital gold. Crazy news and happenings in today's video. So make sure you hit the thumbs up and you subscribe to our channel. We talk about mainly Bitcoin on this channel. We trade Bitcoin and we want to make the best out of this bull run. And of course, sometimes there are opportunities in the altcoin market, and sometimes there are opportunities for perfect trade setups, which we're gonna look at in this video. Here on the 4-hourly time frame, you already see we are consolidating, and the probability to put the price over our all-time high, they are rising with a potential FOMC meeting today. The timer is like a few hours left, and I will be live streaming, unfortunately only on my German account, but here we see at the moment the probability of a rate cut is not really high. We're for sure not getting a rate cut. This would be super surprising. The rate cuts will stay as they are, but Jerome Powell will afterwards have a speech live in TV and on air, and I think, and my guess is, that Jerome Powell is under a lot of pressure from the industry, from the economy, and also now on Donald Trump. He said he will cut the interest rates. The interest rates are way too high, and when reporters asked him if he thinks that the Federal Reserve will listen to him, he says,
"Do you expect the Fed to listen to you?"
Yeah, so I think this will have a big impact on the speech of Jerome Powell, with the probability pretty high to have a successful rate cuts earlier than expected. At the moment, the market is expecting a rate cut just in June, I think. Yeah, in June, the probability is the highest for a rate cut. Maybe we see a change in the statistics, and this could be a huge changer in the Bitcoin price, because the market is always pricing in future events, and you just have to guess the right direction of a future event. You cannot predict the news, but you can predict how the market could react to potential upcoming news. And now, if we see a higher chance of furthermore rate cuts in an earlier time than June, this will be positive in the markets. And so I think this consolidation, maybe we see a fake out, maybe we are lucky to get a buying opportunity on 96, 91, 85, $80,000. Maybe it's possible and we'll make a lot of money with these purchases, but probably we just consolidate and get further price movements to the upside for June, for the next rate cuts, and the markets could turn bullish. We saw a huge drawdown also in the S&P 500, which is catching up brutally and aggressively to new all-time highs, which is a lot of support from the traditional finance markets, which could also help Bitcoin raising and gaining value. Also, like Donald Trump is completely behind Bitcoin. On the liquidation heat maps, it's also looking fine. We're getting a lot of short volume inside. We got a lot of long wrecked already, like on the short time frame. It's like flushing out every trading position we can already see. And on the big time frame, I'm really confident that we hit the $100,000 prices. Unfortunately, also a lot of long positions. This is the reason why I have limit longs sitting in the chart, waiting over there. And as I showed you, we have 50,000 euros in a profit on this account. We have over 25,000 euros on the other account. But sometimes even my trades turn into the red and sometimes I hold them in a loss. Altogether, we're almost $100,000 in a profit. But as you can see, the whole red structure here in my trades, in the open trades, and this is a good reminder to always take profit or have a good stop loss. As you see, alone this trade makes up about $11,000 in a profit. $8,000 already took in profit, and what I have to say for fairness is this doesn't show my closed P&L. When I go on the closed trades, you see one or another trade in a loss, which always can happen, but we took so many profits. We had such a good trading closing P&L, so all good, everything is fine. But if you're unconfident with too high leverage and your positions are open at the moment, just step back. Maybe, or sometimes I close a trade in a loss. I put the stop loss over the liquidation price that I don't have these high fees, and then everything should be doable, should be survivable for today, because it will be very volatile. What is furthermore very important for the growth of Bitcoin and the possibilities for a strategic Bitcoin reserve is the interview of Cynthia Lamis talking about it, and like also the news that in Arizona we got the strategic reserve accepted. There are 12 states that could potentially buy even more Bitcoin, and as I said, 10%, that's not a light investment, that's a strong commitment to the Bitcoin strategic reserve. And I'm going to show you what Cynthia Lamis is talking on air, not even about the Bitcoin price, even about the FOMO that is going to start internationally with Russia, with China, with all the economic superpowers in our countries. And now we have the interviews here, and now I'm going to play the most important facts from Cynthia Lamis.
So why Bitcoin would make sense as part of our strategic reserves is that we recognize other long-term stores of value and put them in strategic reserve. We have a gold strategic reserve. We have an oil strategic reserve. I think it is fitting that Bitcoin, now that is really digital gold, be included among our reserve assets. So I'm proposing in the Bitcoin Act that we purchase roughly 200,000 Bitcoin a year just by converting money we already have into Bitcoin and hold them for 20 years. And in the meantime, we would have an asset that's growing in value while our own dollar is decreasing in value. And thereby we could shore up the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. What that does.
Wouldn't it be fun if the next arms race was not for weapons, it was for Bitcoin? Wouldn't it be fun if the US is buying Bitcoin and it scares China and Russia so they start buying Bitcoin, and we have an arms race over Bitcoin instead of over weapons?
So as you heard, the market is very, very committed to Bitcoin. The United States, they will probably not stop pushing a national Bitcoin reserve, and I think they will be successful. Let's see how volatile the market will be. I can also give you one hint: the Binance top trader accounts, which are completely a cheat code in trading and in transparency of like what are the pros and the really good people in the market doing. We see here they performed perfectly. They did not went into the hype phase of the Bitcoin ETFs. They were longing the charts way before already, as you can see here. They waited until the best scenario happened for Bitcoin. They longed the wholesale, the news event, put the trades up into the all-time highs. They paused a little bit and they started buying completely strong in the corrections, in every drawdown. And now the first time we see here that the Bitcoin bulls or the Bitcoin Binance top trader, they opened massive long positions at $102,500, which is probably a very high price for a Bitcoin long trade. But if the Binance top trader accounts are doing this, this might be a hint for a good market structure. All in all, when I check the position size comparison long to short positions, they are even massively going into long position, much more than in short positions. Really interesting. Maybe they all get wrecked. Probably the Binance top trader don't fall for these traps, and probably they trade up to $110,000 where the shorts getting wrecked. But that's a very interesting insight that I hope you really enjoy and you have a benefit out of this video. If yes, let me know and give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below just to push the algorithm. And I would say we see each other in the next video tomorrow after the FOMC meeting, after the market is pricing in this high volatility, and we will see results of a strong gain in the market or even like a dump, a crash to our next entries at 96, 91,000 US dollars. So I wish you the maximum profits as always, guys. We're gonna see each other in the next video. Ciao, ciao.